Ozo. Thanks for coming back to Zen Figure Reviews. Like always, here we have another nightmare frame, the Gong Lao, or Gunru as some may call it. This is one that did not fit the spotlight in the animated series Code Geass, although it may make a fantastic addition to your collection. Created by the Chinese Federation as its primary warfare mecha, a nightmare, useful and perhaps even devastating, but only in numerous amounts and under the strategic leadership of a cunning military expert, dare I say, Li Shinkei. Gentlemen, I bring you the Gong Lao. Right out of the package, we have a two-piece top and bottom fit-on plastic protector for the figure and an instruction sheet. For the accessories, we really don't get much, just these two pieces, the antenna that's going to go on top of the nightmare and this peg that clips onto the back. Now guys, just to give you a heads up, when you purchase this figure, make sure it has these two plastic sheets that protect the gunners on the sides. It's so the paint doesn't rub onto the, green plastic of the rest of the nightmare. Also, you have this kind of plastic sheet in between the legs. It's also used to protect, the paint, this copper-like paint that it has on the knee area or where the leg starts to not cause it to damage. So do bear in mind that if you purchased this figure new, make sure it has all of these elements, just to be sure. As for paint applications, about 90% of the Gong Lao's body is molded in dark military green, which by the way looks amazing. The copper flaked features boldly accentuate a modern and realistic military warfare machine. The red paint in the eyes make the Gunru look alive and ready to exterminate. The rest of the colors just help complement it even more. I guess all I have to say is that this paint job was executed remarkably. Moving on to the articulation, we have a very limited array of options. The machine guns are on a ball joint. That provides the main movement. Also, just before the ball joints pop into the frames of the nightmare, there is a hinge that allows an extra movement for the gunners. Next up, we have these kind of rocket launcher looking things. They are also on a ball joint, and even though the range is limited, I think this is probably the best idea for these parts. Back here is a support wheel and tail. Each one of the pieces that connect up until it reaches the wheel are individually articulated on a ball joint mechanism. The main connector is on a cross hinge, and that's what allows it to move up and down and side to side. The legs are likely to be the most limited part of the figure. They are on ball joints, so you're able to go this much forward and of course this much back until you hit something. The set of wheels do spin, and quite good actually. Another feature it has is these grooves that allow you to peg in the machine guns to get them out of your way for some little feature I'll show you on later. But before we get to that, let's take a look inside the piloting cabin. Looks much better and definitely cooler and more detailed than any other cockpit I've seen so far for nightmares. Once you're inside, there are these gears that allow you to position the eyes up and down, although I've found it's also possible to do it from the outside, and sometimes easier because it is a bit difficult to try to get this thing open. So the feature I was talking about are these small hands that are hidden on the side bottom panels of the cockpit that have 3 fingers each. The side ones open up and the middle one opens down. And yes, you can have him hold something if you so wish. Up next, this extra mechanical arm has the functionality to connect the tail. But before that, let me remind you about this peg I showed you earlier on the clips. So what you have to do is you have to just clip it onto the back, and that way it's going to give you a groove to be able to connect the arm onto the back instead of in the front. So the way you connect the wheels with the arm is just pop it into the back wheel, and well, as you can see, it's better to show you than to tell you. There it is, and there you have it. Of course, the antenna connects here, and now it can communicate. Let's move on to some posing. So guys, we've reached the end of our video today. I hope I was able to provide you some good insight on the figure if you're thinking about getting it. Don't forget to like the video, click to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and remember, buy what you love. Sayonara.